everybody. Welcome to the Boardman Gets Paid podcast. I'm your host, Andre Lindo. And with me today, I have two special people. We've got Zazu and Lele. I forgot to ask, is that okay to call you by that name on this pod? I just want to make sure. I know some people might not want their names out there, so just let me know. And I'll pre edit this.
No, absolutely. That's fine.
Awesome. And I believe Zazu thinks he's in the booth and is gonna give us a
Hey
quick
man, I'm gonna
freestyle.
find this, man. Oh man, take this in. Ready?
Oh, okay.
Yo, hit the track. Let's see. Bro, I just found this lyrics and I wrote this one 14, bro. It might not make any sense.
Why do you have it at arm's length? This is that you read it all the time. You're like, what's up?
Bro, because I literally recently found it.
Yeah.
And my kids were like touching it up and busting it open. I was like, no, don't touch that. That's history. So I took it and put it on my desk. It was right there on my desk. It's funny we're having this conversation.
Hey.
Let's see. Okay. All right, here we go.
Are you ready for this, Lele?
Yeah. Ready? Just one line. Gonna be one line. Let's see. This is better than any Drake album you ever hear, Lele.
Oh, cut it out.
Gonna be better than any Drake has ever said, man. Yeah. I'm
two,
rated R.
3. Oh.
Yeah, I'm rated R. RPG. I'm the only real game you can see on TV. I'll smash your face like a king, queen, jack, split up, ace. Look at you. You need to say your grace. You look so bad, they put you in a house arrest. Then see past, take. I don't know, bro. Hold on, I'm trying to read my 14-year-old handwriting. It's chicken scratch.
Yo, you know what you do? Rewrite it and then bring it back for the next episode.
I'm out to like read this again, bro. I ain't rewriting it. I'm gonna have to read it and get back to my 14-year-old mind, bro. That's crazy.
Awesome. Okay, let's get started before we lose Lele. Okay.
Your raps cannot touch my raps from back in the day.
Oh,
I wish I
Here we
could.
go. We're not doing this. We're not doing
I
this.
wish I could find mine. My teammate tracks.
I sucked at rapping. I'm a musician. That's what I do. I play drums. So.
Oh, take this. This one's called "No Room for Evil." It goes like this. Today have been a long day for me. Oh, where's the lyrics? What's the sound?
It's there.
Today have been a long day for me. I'm a church boy living God righteously. I've been stoned with the stones and come face to face with blasphemy. Even though I won, I've seen kids get eaten by tragedy. We swear love. We could soar to the sky with them dove. We live in this world with something that's no one up above. Let me get a few seconds to talk to this Jan about the new conspiracies of the devil's man. No worries, we could just chill, cause the heaven gets our back. Even if you don't believe, we still got this abstract. What the heck?
Hey!
That was pretty good.
Yes, I like
that was
it.
pretty good.
That was kind of hot though.
I'm like, it's like 9/11 when we getting sitting straight out of heaven. We used to be the one of us. No, not anymore. He's just too dangerous. Man, I used to be crazy, man. Don't worry, man. I gotta get the flow back. The flow's gone. I gotta go the flow back, man. He's offline. Ready to go.
This happens sometimes. It's the system I'm using. But you know who used to be a crazy rapper? You remember Matthew?
Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt that comes, what up, Raptors?
Yeah. His nickname is Shadow. He used to be a Christian rapper.
There you go. Dope. That's
Killed
awesome.
it. Well, anyways, back to the pod. Welcome, Lele, Zazu. Quickly, please introduce. Well, let me introduce you guys. So, we lost someone. Oh, we lost Lele. Yeah, it's okay. So first off, I wanted to introduce Zazu. Zazu is a community leader within the Raptor space. He is the co-host of the Raptors Cookout. Every game, every time after the game, and now he's been doing it during the halftime show as well. He hosts a Twitter space, or what do you call it, X Spaces now? That's such a weird
man.
name.
We calling it Twitter, bro.
I'm just Twitter Spaces.
It's not going anywhere.
And well, until we get to Blue Sky, right? So,
What's this guy?
It's basically the guy that created Twitter. created a mirror of Twitter, and it's the new thing. I'll send you a link. It's way smoother than
There
Twitter,
we go. There we
and
go.
and
I
you
don't know if
can.
people are gonna leave Twitter, man.
Mm, I don't know. We'll
Remember
see.
We
Thread?
might have
Remember
to
Thread?
get.
Remember
Hey guys,
Thread?
sorry about that.
That's okay.
Remember Thread?
Yeah.
People
Uh,
thought
it's
everyone's gonna migrate to Thread, but
No, no, it's different because the amount of people that are joining Blue Sky just because of Elon Musk, just because of that, it is it's picking up speed. So, um, I'm already on it too. So, but I'd go on
I
both.
don't get involved with the politics of the things, man. I just use the
Mm,
platform.
yeah, you'll see. So again, we have another co-host here, Lily. Lily is also another co-host of the Raptors Cookout. She's there. Hosting it with Zazu. So first off, like introduce yourselves. Anything I missed about you? We'll start off with Lily since Zazu had an amazing 5 minute intro.
That's right.
So, hey everyone, I'm Lily. I am big Raptors fan. You can catch me on Twitter or X, I guess you can call it, at Lily Loves MJB, and we are there after every Raptors game, just having a space for everybody to talk about the game. And we started this season doing halftime spaces because people people have a lot to say during the game. People have
Yep.
a lot to say, like especially the way our games sort of start out. And so we've been having a lot of fun the past couple years, just being big Raptors fans and you know having and talking about it, I guess, on Twitter. So
Awesome.
interesting. I like, yeah, we got to talk Zazu. We got to talk about Blue Sky and other platforms.
You got
All
it.
right, man. Put me on. Y'all gotta put me on
I'm
this
not even
group
on
chat.
there, but I'm like thinking about it.
I'll,
So,
I'll send you
so yeah.
guys. I'll send you
All
invites.
right.
Zazu, introduce yourself. I know I had you on one time for the Vince Carter tribute, but love I didn't get to share that with people. Not the whole tribute, but just like the introduction. But love you to introduce yourself
Yeah,
to
no
the
doubt,
people.
man. Thanks for having me again, Andre. Man, shout out to you. Is that what people know you by on this podcast? What do they
I
know
hope
you
so. I hope so. That's
by?
Andre. Yeah.
Andre, my man's. But yeah, shout out to you for having me and Lily here tonight. You know, I'm a big Raptors fan. You know,
Mhm.
I grew up in Nigeria playing soccer and I love soccer, but like I'll watch a Raptors game before I watch any soccer game. Now, mind you though, if the World Cup is
Mm.
happening, you might not
It's
catch me.
over. It's over.
Yeah, like you know, but I'm a die-hard Raptors fan. I'm very passionate about my team. I truly believe that the art of being a true fan is dying, and you know, I that's why I created the Raptors Cookout so that we as a fan base can cook up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
When we're cooking other teams, and once our team gets really good, then y'all gonna really see what the cookout's about.
Yeah. Yes, I'm
um,
excited for the little in the next 3 4 years.
yeah,
How
yeah.
that
Right now we're getting cooked.
establish.
Right now we're getting cooked. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
people come to our cookout space and they're cooking us, which is fine,
They
right?
try
But
to cook us, but
they
we
try to cook us.
always,
They try
Yeah,
to
Lily got.
they
Oh
can't cook
man,
us.
I remember Lily was going. That who was that one guy just kept going off about Scotty Barnes, and Lily's like, "No, Zazu, I got this. Let me go." I'm like, "Damn."
yeah,
Hey,
because like honestly,
don't put me on blast.
people think so. So because I'm a true fan, people think like I'm a Scotty Barnes stans.
Yeah,
Like, bro, nah, man. I'm just like literally like once I start hearing people slandering my young gun, bro, I'm gonna stand up for the kid, bro.
yeah,
No matter what, I don't care what statistics you have to pull up your butt. Like, I ain't trying to hear it. That's my guy. That's my franchise. You know what I mean?
hey,
So,
preach.
I'll stick up for him, bro, until he's no longer on my team. That's just how it
Nice.
goes. And if I love his game enough the way I love Demar's game, then yeah, I'll keep defending him the way I defend Demar. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So that's just how it goes. Bottom line, my favorite Raptor of all time is DeMar DeRozan.
yeah.
Um, you know, I grew up watching Vince Carter, but DeMar is the reason where like he showed me what winning looks like.
Interesting. Okay,
You know what I
okay.
mean? He showed me what winning looks like.
Okay.
No, for real. I mean it. Like
Oh,
I mean it. Like in terms of regular season accolades and stuff. being hyped for all 82 games, bro. I can never forget all those 82 games that he showed up and showed out. Like, he's the kind of player that came to work. He'll play injury, like he'll play through it. He was always healthy
Yeah. Yeah.
because he took care of himself,
It's because he
right?
wouldn't go to the rim.
Hey man, he's always healthy, bro.
I'm bugging. First of all, let's start off with this first question. How did the Raptors cookout start? And how did you Zazu and Lily get together to kind of make something, or is it one of you started it and then the other jumped on? Tell me about the creation of the cookout.
Yeah, so Nelly J and Fahim, RLTV, they used to host spaces for Raptors, and they had like segments where, like, you come into the space and you have about like a shot clock where you give your take and you move on to the next person.
Yeah.
And I felt like it wasn't feeding me enough.
Hmm. Hmm.
As someone who had so much to say, like, I just felt that shot clock was just not enough. So after their space, not to eat up their space time, I would open up like an after dark Raptors space, right, Lily? I'll open one up. Lily will be in there with me.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam Stan will be in there with me. Several other people will just be late, like just talking, like just because we had so much to say about the game,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? And so we did that for about a year, and then the next year, for him and Nelly were like, "Oh, we're no longer going to be hosting spaces at this time anymore."
Oh.
So I finally just I started opening up space at that same slot. Called it the Raptors Cookout. Lily will always jump in, and because she always jumped in with me, I just made her my co-host,
Mhm.
right? Because, and plus I love the fact that, like, she's a female and she's
Yeah.
black, and she was at that time she was my opposite. So, like, if I had, because she loved, like, she would love Fred, and I hated Fred, right? So having a co-host, a host that, like, is against Fred, and because back then it was like when Fred was still here, right?
Yeah.
Um, so having someone that could rebuttal me while I'm in the space too at the same time, so I don't just mute the space and take over and let my opinion be the be all and end all, because I hate that.
Yeah.
When people come to the space and speak as if like their opinion is the matter of fact. I
Yeah.
think they're like they're reporters in the room, that they're in there with the guys.
Yeah. They're definitive. They know things like
Yeah,
this really happened, right?
yeah, yeah. I hate that. So that I didn't want that. I didn't want anyone to get that idea that, like, I was like some news reporter that was in the room with the guys. So having Lily balanced me,
Mm.
right? Because she would always like have the opposite of the thought that I had,
Yeah.
right? Which caused a good communication in the room.
Nice.
But yeah,
Oh,
that's how the Kuka started, and we just kept going.
cool. What about from your perspective, Lily? What do you think about how the cookout started? And
Yeah, I
um,
never really thought of that. It just kind of happened. One
mhm.
day I was the host.
Zazu was sleeping, falling
He
asleep,
was
and
just
you
like,
just
"Here, be my co-host," and I was like, "Okay."
yeah.
But it's true. We were both a part of that space, the Raptors RLTV, and they had been doing it for a while. I kind of joined. I found them a little bit late,
Mhm.
um, in terms of, I'm not sure how long Zazu was going into their space, but he was well known in that space, and so I would. Just as Zazu just said, he decided one day that he wanted to start his own space, and then um, me and Zazu. The thing about it is, he, yes, he does. We were at opposites, but not in such a way that um, what often happens with women in the sports landscape is that sometimes your voice and your opinions are often like, you know what I mean? Oh, well, you don't know enough.
Mhm.
You're just little old you, woman. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's a lot of sexism. Believe, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't, I, anyways, the point is
No,
that
speak your
I didn't,
truth, girl. Speak your
I
truth. That's
didn't
what this is for.
feel
Speak
well.
it.
People like to minimize your opinion and like
Mhm.
mansplain and even and I never got that with Zazu. As
Mhm.
much as we used to disagree or be on opposite sides of a certain opinion or perspective, a player, the coach, Nick Nurse, who's playing the bench, whether, whatever it was, we don't always agree, but we always respect each other's opinion. And I think that's what really, that's why our, it works so well with
Do you feel that that is the kind of the baseline of a good community, just to have mutual respect for each other when having discussions like this?
I think so. Absolutely. I think you have to respect, you have to be, first of all, open to hearing other people's opinion.
Mhm.
And you have to want that, because if everybody is in the same space agreeing, it's like, I've been in those kind of spaces, and
So
they're not
boring.
fun. It's like
No,
they're all
they're
trying to
not.
like agree with each other's opinions, and like whether it's like a hate, they agree and they come together in their hate train.
Yeah.
Um, and but it's important, I think, that you have a certain level of respect for not just each other as co-hosts, but the people who are coming in this space.
Mhm.
Like, unless you are literally like a Celtics fan, then we will, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Zazu's very, Zazu's very confrontational. Both of you guys are like, hey, let's let the Cavs fans have a
We
Yeah,
conversation
will let
and
them
tell us how much
talk.
we
let them.
suck. And
Mhm.
We'll
the
let them
Knicks
talk.
fans are
But
the
when they get
worst, though. Like,
disrespectful,
yeah,
it's like, do you really want to go there? But it's been hard. It's been tough this last couple of years, man, because we're not winning, so we don't have like a leg to stand on.
hey, it will come. It will come.
It's so easy for them to clown us.
Well,
We get, like I said, it's a cookout, man. So we're
it's a
getting
cook.
crunk.
Hey, it's that's what the space is for, and that's what I love about your space and the energy everyone has when they come on. You
Like,
can tell those that are haters, like the ones that really, really hate a certain player, those that just hate coaches, like myself, or just the way certain players play. But Zazu, the question to you now is like, what is it like running the community? Like, I know you probably don't even think of it as a community per se, or you as a community leader, you and Lily, but what do you think it's like? Like, tell me what it is to kind of be that person that's, because people probably look up to you, people probably hold you accountable for things that you say. What is it like to kind of run this community?
yeah, honestly, I haven't even thought about it as like a community,
Hmm.
to be honest, until you just brought it up.
Hmm.
I just because I'm a fan, I just try to open up the space and just
Yeah.
allow people to just come in there and just be themselves and give you thoughts and feeling. But now that you say that, as I reflect back into this the community aspect of it, like yeah, like you've been in group chats and people are either like engaged or they're like, oh, the space guy, the guys are running spaces again, talking about Scotty Barnes for how long, or in the space talking about this for how long? How long could they be in the spaces for? So I see what you mean in terms of like a sense of space. It does generate a lot of like hate or love depending on who that individual is. And
Hmm.
honestly, I'm a grown man with 5 kids. I don't care. you know, I make enough money to take care of my kids, and I have the leisure to
Hmm.
to be home and like enjoy my sport team
Hmm.
after dark.
Yeah.
And I have the wherewithal to literally, um, have a space and be a real fan and be passionate about it. And honestly, Lily and Pascal Siakam stand, she's not here, but like
Hmm.
they give me the opportunity to be able to do so because like I mean, like what last year or a couple of years ago, like we'll run space for a long time.
Hmm.
Like come like um trade deadline, bro. If there's a trade that happens, I turn on the space and we go to like
Like one time we went to like 2 or 3 in the morning.
yeah, we go
I'm like,
late.
and I was
Well,
like, I kept coming on and off. I was
yeah,
doing so
but
many
people think
things.
I'm
Oh,
there the whole time. People literally think I'm there the whole time, or literally think like Lily's there. No, we take turns like running the space,
yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
right?
What about from your perspective, Lily? Like, I guess you didn't think you were a community leader, but as I'm saying it to you guys, like, actually, you know what I call you guys, like yourself, Zazu, uh, Nelly J, RTV. I call you guys the voice of the fans because I know it sounds weird, but really and truly, anytime I want to hear the fans, it's like produced or
Raw.
facilitated by you guys.
Uh-huh.
That's what it is, and that's why I call you guys the voice of the fans. What about from your perspective, Lily? What do you think?
Well, I mean, it really has been just really organic. It's not something that we like
Plan.
sort of, yeah, set out to do. We just kind of found a community. There's so many, like the Raptors community is huge. We know that because we get people from other fan bases that come into our space
Yeah,
after their games and are
yeah,
just like, so what are you guys up to?
yeah.
Sometimes because not every team has that kind of online like
Yeah,
community.
not
Mhm.
everybody have spaces, which was crazy to me.
Yeah, that are that active, I would
Yeah.
say, on
Mhm.
Twitter or X, whatever you want to
Interesting.
call it.
Yeah.
So it is very, it's a very active. People are very passionate. People could just go on and on. Sometimes we talk about the same things over and over again, but like it's like somebody will say something, and it's so interesting because somebody will say something one day and then come back the next day, and it's like the game that just happened completely proved their take wrong, but they want to stick with their take, and they're so
Oh yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, you gotta like bend a little, you like the Scotty
Oh, I'm
Barnes
gonna
take.
bring that up soon.
Yeah, but anyways, the point is that it's a good community. I find that I don't know how, like, we see how many people are like coming up to speak and listen, but there's so many more that are like hidden,
Yeah.
in terms of how many people are coming in and not actually
A lot of
visibly in the
anonymous
space.
listeners.
Oh yeah.
Anonymous listeners, yeah. So it is, I think it is a bigger community than we even
Yeah.
really think that we really even know. But it's fun. I think that people have come to kind of get used to us as the place to go when you want to vent about the team
Yeah.
and just do it in real time.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then
Real
It's
you,
time.
so interesting. Oh man,
yeah,
like
it is.
I learned that last year when Pascal was traded. That not every single team has spaces because all the Pacer fans jumped in our space,
Yeah.
and we're like, wait, I'm like, what's going on? And I'm just like, oh, I see, they don't have
Also,
this. And then yeah, go ahead.
if they do have space, they want to hear how the Raptors fans feel.
What I
Yes.
see,
Like
I
Knicks
see.
fans
There's some
Knicks
sneaky
fans
fans.
have
Yeah,
like 5 spaces. They have a bunch of them.
yeah,
They all create spaces. And they have a lot of followers in there.
yeah.
And once anything that goes on between the Raptors and the Knicks, they're in our space.
Oh yeah, they're automatic.
Yeah, they want to hear how we feel, what we see, and if they slightly support RJ or IQ, and they're pissed that like we have their players because
Yeah,
their front office traded out the young guys
yeah.
for OG, they'll come in there and cook up their own fan base.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh
So there
yeah.
has been there something came out the other day that someone, I think his name is D or something, on Twitter, that Davion Mitchell like retweets all the negative comments
Oh
or
yeah.
likes all the negative comments in all the chats and stuff like that. I even got Davion Mitchell actually liked one of my tweets. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe,
Yeah, they're
because
active.
I didn't realize, and then I realized something. And one thing I will talk about it later is really the actual the person behind the player, because sometimes we forget that. And I like to talk about that because I started to, when I was younger, I was like, yo, we should just trade this guy and just get rid of that guy or say that guy's trash, and didn't realize
The people.
the people behind it because I'm so young, I don't get it. But there's a full human being that has love, hurts, hates, has emotions, deals with the same pressures I deal with. Maybe they have a little bit more money and a little bit more fame, but at the same time, I just think about myself. How would I have dealt with like that situation with DeRozan and his personal mental health? And there's one guy from the Rockets that had a really terrible issue about flying, and it's like, how do you deal with those kind of things? And I wonder, but putting, because I'm a designer, I do what is called UX design, and part of our job is to kind of show empathy when it comes to any sort of thing we're trying to design here. And it started to really creep in when watching basketball, and I don't particularly like Darko, and but then I start to remember that this guy has a family, this guy has friends. His friend passed away the other day, and it's just like, okay, this guy is expected to perform immediately and at the expectations that I have, and who the hell am I to have those expectations of him? So, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you guys think players are listening to these communities, and how does it change how you possibly approach specific topics or anything like that? I'll start with Zazu on that one.
Yeah. Honestly, if you go back to the interaction between William Lou and Chris Boucher,
Hmm.
right back when, like, I want to say 4 years ago now, right? William Lou used to like slander him, and then Chris, replied back, right? And now they're friends, right? So they are in on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. They're on Twitter X. They're searching up their names after performances, right? Just to see what the fan base is thinking, their thoughts, their feelings. Like, I'm an actor, so I used to tour a whole entire like show across Ontario, and 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 after the show, out there are reviewers that will come watch the show and write reviews. Afterwards, we would go home and look up those reviews
Hmm.
because we want to know what they're saying, what they're thinking. Because
Hmm.
based on that is how you know we are essentially going to kind of feel about how our work is going,
Hmm.
right? Because that's now in for the eyes of the viewership to to read, um to gauge, to see if they should buy our tickets to come see the show, right? Just in a small scale,
Yeah.
right? And then I finally, like, if you really truly think about it, um nothing changes when you have money. The way
And
you feel about the way you
starting
feel
to
about
learn that too.
yourself. Yeah, honestly, bro, I finally are making a lot of money doing less work.
Mhm.
I just got a job that gives me a lot more money doing less work that I'm used to. Not saying the workload I'm doing is not enough, but like it's just a different level of capacity,
Mhm.
right? And I feel unworthy sometimes.
I know the
I'm like,
feeling. Yeah.
how am I blessed like this? And so, um, like, the way I feel about myself hasn't changed. That money hasn't changed me. The way my thoughts are, my fears, my weaknesses, my strengths, those have not changed. And so when people say, "Oh, they're NBA players making millions of dollars," they'll figure it out.
Hmm.
No, they won't.
Yeah. No.
Like, no money in the world is going to change this
Hmm. Hmm.
and this. How you feel about
Perfect example of that is the issues with John Morant, right? It's like they always talk about you can't take the hood out the man, but you can take the man out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out the man.
man. Yeah.
And it's like it's such an interesting thought process of like the way that you're grown, the way that you're, really affects how you are as a person now. But it doesn't mean you need to give up on them. So it's interesting. I was listening to uh, you know what's his name again? The guy that is he's on XM radio and people don't like him. He's
Brian Scalabrine,
not Brian Scalabrine, the black host in the evening.
uh, and
Eddie
Eddie
Johnson.
Jones. Eddie,
From
I
the
love
Ed
Eddie Johnson.
Johnson.
The
Yeah,
NBA Today.
Eddie Johnson.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
him.
yeah, Ed Johnson.
He used to play
Yeah,
for the Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns. Yeah, he's always talking about his sons. His
Yeah,
sons. Yeah.
he is not real. He's not very much liked because he says his mind and he always, But he did say something about players and how they are supposed to be perceived. Yes, the money is everything. The money is something, but it doesn't equate to who the player is, right? And if they don't learn, he doesn't give up on people. Everyone deserves a second chance. It's like John Morant had his issues, but if you go out and that person wants to learn and grow, humans are able to grow, right? And I think that's something we as people kind of remember. We got to remember that when we're criticizing these players. Like I'm very critical of Chris Boucher and Darko, but I got to also remember that these people are human. These people have families, friends, and we gotta have a little bit more empathy. Anyways, let's take away from that. Oh yeah, Lily, what about your self? What are your thoughts on this matter
I
about?
just think that for me, like I'm just the same with everybody. Like
Mhm,
if you just see a person as a human being and you treat them with empathy and respect, then whether they're rich or famous or whether they're your coworker or a stranger, why would you change who you are and how you speak about people publicly and how you the expectations that you have for people? Like we're all just human at the end of the day. I
mhm,
mean, I think that Zazu was saying just now that um, you know, it doesn't matter how much money you make. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. I think that obviously you can afford supports and you know what I mean? Like you can
yeah.
cry on a really nice silk pillow if you're upset. It's I think I'm not saying it's not easier to deal, but with that large amount of fame and expectations is a large amount of pressure.
Yeah.
So I just for me when I speak about players and when I try to give my opinion, I'm not perfect. I might at times
Hmm.
show some frustration, but I generally like I don't I tend to be like fair and um just I try to just if you think about people in a way that's respectful and you have kindness in your heart, then all that hatred and vitriol, like it's not necessary. Like
Hmm.
what does that accomplish? So yeah, that's kind of how I look at it.
Something you just said kind of triggered an idea about one of the reasons why I made this podcast. Anyways, was that I didn't see a lot of people of our complexion kind of running like a podcast or being part of the media kind of thing. And I was like, no, this it's not fair. I hear the loudest voices aren't people that look like the players that we're talking about. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, like
Mm-hmm.
because I
Don't get
Lily,
me started on that.
Lily,
That's
hey,
a
that's
conversation.
Lily's topic. Hold on, let me say this before
yeah,
we
go ahead.
attend to that question. I just want to say this. Look, if you want to know if the players are really paying attention to what the fans are saying, look at Fred Van Fleet's tribute before he left.
Okay.
If you read that, right? If you read his captions, there's no way you think, or how did he find out if the fans, are branding him as like what was it? What did he say? How did he know that the fans started to turn on him? Was the bad guy, right?
Hmm.
Because the reporters didn't make him the bad guy. They
Yeah.
rubbed his back. I could remember clearly. He says, uh, uh, contrary to most belief, the Toronto Raptors are failing Fred Van Fleet. Fred Van Fleet's not failing the Toronto Raptors, right?
Oh my god.
So think about that. Literally, the media love Fred and they praised him even in his worst and his lowest.
Mhm.
But in the spaces, oh, giving it, we were absolutely giving it to him. You
Yeah.
know, he definitely was either listening, cut a clip of it, somebody sent a clip of it, his family's part listening to it. Like,
Yeah.
if it's not them listening to the spaces, either their kids, their moms, someone who's invested in their life is spending time listening
Anytime. Yeah.
and then relating it back.
Yeah. I was just actually watching a TikTok of this one guy. He called out Dylan Harper, the new
Yeah,
player, and he said, "Hey, you are not." He said to him that we already know you're cool. You
mhm.
already cool. You light skin. You got a nice lineup. You come from money. We know you're cool. Start playing like you care. And then the next two games, he erupted for over 30 points a game.
It-
And then people are like, "Yeah, he was in the comments watching and
that's right.
watched the video." And he's like, "Yeah, I seen him. He's commented on my videos before. I've seen him. I know,
Yeah.
but he knows what I'm talking about. And look what he's done. I know he has the."
Oh, we lost Andre. You lost him, Lily.
Sorry, I know I keep cutting in and out. Don't worry. It
Second.
just happens all the time. But yeah, go ahead. Were
I
you saying
I
something,
was gonna
Samson?
say, Lily talked about Slick. so like crying on a soft slick pillows. If you grew
Silk,
up
silk, silk.
Silk.
silk silk
Yeah.
soft silk pillows, yeah.
Yes.
If you grew up with silk pillows,
Hey,
do you know that it's silk pillow? Do you know
hey,
the value
hey.
of a silk pillow?
Yo, write that one down. That's a wrap, bro.
I'm
What?
I'm
I
dead.
don't. You gotta explain this one.
So Lily, hear
Oh,
this out.
yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
if all I know is sugar, I've never tasted salts ever. How can I compare? How would I even know that sugar is sweet?
Yeah, so basically, if you're always sleeping on silk pillows, you would not know the difference if you go back to your pillow and cry
Hmm.
because it's always going to be silk.
Yeah,
Compared to myself, that's never slept on a silk pillow, that should be getting silk pillowcases because this hair is not going to tame itself. There's going to
right.
be a difference, right? Yeah, I love that. That's spitting,
It's
man.
just the level of comfort, Lily. At the end of the day, like if you've been comfortable your whole entire life, and do you really know that you're comfortable? If you have nothing to contrast that, right? That's why it's so easy to see and root for kids who come out of the gutter
Hmm.
because they are trying to achieve that comfort level versus someone who's already there and they don't understand or appreciate where they are.
Hmm. Right.
Does that make sense,
What
Lily?
does that have to do with the players being able to take criticism and whatnot online, though?
No, what I'm saying is that like because even if they have if they have a lot of money,
Hmm.
they have a lot of money, they're still human at the end of the day.
No, I totally agree with that, and I think that people tend to make the argument where they're saying, "Oh, well, they should be able to get, you know, they're making millions of dollars.
Yeah,
They should
therapy,
be able
this
to
and that.
deal with the criticism." And I do see that to some extent. Like I do, you know what I mean? Because there's a reason why you're getting paid the big bucks,
Hmm.
right? This is part of it. This is what comes with it, right? But I think that because we're in an age where, it's just like so loud. The voices are so loud.
Hmm.
Like at the end of the day, everybody's just human, and you can't. You have to. I think we, as people who are in the community of projecting those voices, we have to let people um, say how they feel and let and vent or whatever, but I think it's good to give a different perspective and like tamp that down a bit
Mhm.
so that it's not under our watch that it's so negative. And like I do feel some responsibility for that in our, at least when we're leading these discussions, that we're not letting it get to too disgusting of how it can in
Yes.
sports,
Yes.
you know. But I definitely like, I think there's still, it's going to exist either way. This is sports and people are passionate, and these guys you make the big bucks, and that's why
Mhm.
you make them. It comes, it's part of the job. So
Yeah.
it's, yeah, so I guess I'm saying
That's
I'm
why
of two minds.
that's why I'm never harsh against the young guys
Mm.
on my team because I know they're young. They're on social media. They are trying to find things about themselves, trying to discover the world, see how much they love. Like they seek validation.
Mhm.
They want to be feel validated. Like when they have good games, they're definitely gonna be listening, see how they'll be praised. When they have bad games, they'll try not to, but like their curiosity gets the best of them,
Yeah.
right? So I try to lay off the young guys. That's
Mhm.
just me. But the older guys,
They should know better.
We'll hear
That's
it.
that's and that's why I
on
don't
their
give
neck.
buy for Boucher because that man is a vet.
He's a
You
vet.
can't. I'm sorry, man. You can't be having your coach treating you like a rookie. I did say it online. Like say that in a interview. Hey, I treat Chris like one of my rookies.
Talking
What?
about
Is that
developing
what he
a
said
30-year-old.
though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he said
developing.
that.
Oh boy. Okay. Well,
That's
I
the first thing he
mean,
said in the
I
first
think
movie.
that I think that the thing with Chris, I don't know. Are we going into this area of Chris?
No, no, no. It's
No, no.
okay.
Okay.
I
Let's
actually,
go back to that question.
yeah, I want to go back to the these people of color in these spaces because something happened that's kind of a little annoying to me. Um, I just want to feel you guys out on how it is, but let's talk about this discourse of us being there, having spaces or at least communities talking about basketball, of people that play that look like us. Right? There's not a lot of us out there when it comes to those that are covering basketball. I think Samson has one black person on it. I think there's
that's right.
just the Twitter Spaces, and then there's Basketball Rewind and stuff like that. But there's not many out there. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Like about having more people like us speaking about, especially a sport that's almost what 85% black.
I'll let Lily go on this
Yeah,
one. Go ahead,
please.
Lily.
Mhm. Well, I mean, listen, I think that sports is universal. So I think there's definitely um, a space, and there's space for everyone to have their say. I do think it's important to have Black creators, content creators, voices um, as a part of the whole, sports media sphere, because sometimes you get the reporters who have a way of describing things that to me sort of edge on, I don't want to say it's
Say it.
blatant.
Say it, man. Say
It's
it.
like it's I don't want to say blatant racism, but there is
Like an
there's
undertone.
there's an undertone there, a microaggression.
Beautiful
Yeah.
word.
There's something there that, especially when we're talking about like body language
Body
and
language.
like
F
That's the
word.
certain
one that gets me the most, bro.
those words, those key words, those like that come up, you know what I mean? That it's just like, oh, it's like it literally is a microaggression. I feel it. Like I feel like a just this discomfort when I hear it, because you got a kid who's 20, 21 years old, who is literally like came from like really really the gutter. Let's just say that. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know Scotty's circumstances. I don't know his. I don't actually don't know, but I do know he did not come from a wealthy environment, a privileged environment. So a lot of this life that he is like leading and living right now, um, coming into this organization at the age of what it was 20, 21 years old. I can't remember.
19.
He was 19. He turned 20, I think, right after the draft,
Yeah.
right? So, or maybe it was 21. I can't remember.
No,
But
19.
he took okay, he was 19. And I was just like, this is a literal kid.
It's a kid,
And
man.
people were like, oh, he has to be mature. He has to. And I'm like, what is he doing
Do
wrong?
do you
Except he
remember
like,
what you were doing when you were 19? We
okay,
always ask
well, let's
that.
not talk about that. But uh just put it this way. Like I didn't have cameras in my face, like judging my every expression. It's just it got a little bit weird. That's all. It's just got weird. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like he wasn't doing anything. You look at other some like I don't even want to get into John Morant and all these other players that like off court making certain decisions or whatnot. He was literally just being this the good nice kid. You know what I mean?
He doesn't even have a tattoo.
He has not even a tattoo. Like,
Bro,
you know what I mean?
what are we
Not
doing
that
here?
there's anything wrong with tattoos, but like, you
I
know what I
think there's
mean?
things wrong with tattoos. That's me in general. But like
Yeah.
I think there's look, maybe there's nothing wrong with tattoos, but I think there's a value uh, for to see a young kid in a world that is riddled with praising tattoos that refrain from getting tattoos.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest. Like it's easy to fall in the trap. Oh, get a tattoo, guys. It's a cool thing, right? But
Yeah.
he stayed away from it.
I think it's the point that he is not like what you would stereotype. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? A
exactly.
kid.
Right, right.
Like what not to say that it's good to judge that kids that
Tattoo.
fall into
Yeah,
that
yeah. I'm not trying to
stereotype.
judge. I'm just saying, like,
But he's
does he
also
have that
not
stereotype?
following into that stereotype.
He's
So what
not.
do you
He's
want
not.
from him?
Mhm.
Like
He doesn't have a big cross across his chest or his arm. He doesn't look ghetto, bro. That's the bottom line.
yo,
Eh, eh,
Zazu.
you know,
I'm just saying. I'm just
I
saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've had you guys on here for an hour. The thing I never asked you guys about is what do you guys think of our Raptors? Like, what, what are like the conversations that are being had are a lot about Scotty Barnes, and there's the brigade, brigade that really dislikes him, and then there's the brigade that like thinks he's the next coming of Michael Jordan. And it's like, how do you guys balance that right now?
It's Giannis.
It's honest.
You're
Not
not
Michael
coming on it.
Jordan. Don't be silly.
Um,
Forget
there
ahead
are
of
certain people that are comparing him to. Anyways, let's continue. Well, how do you guys balance that? Because I was in the spaces. I was at the night that Scotty went 31 points, 17, something like 15 rebounds or something like that, 7 assists. And instead of the celebration of, yo, look at how this guy did. Yes, the Raptors lost, but he really put his players on his black. It was like, yo, Scotty made this, Scotty is terrible. Uh,
or no, it's when Scotty scores 30 or more
30.
points, the Raptors
Or
are one
186.
of
And
one of
I tweeted that as a joke. I said either 1 and 5. And then we lose, and I'm like, oh crap. Now I'm gonna get killed for this because that wasn't what I was saying. I was just like, is it gonna be
It
the
wasn't just
time that
you. Hey, it honestly wasn't just you, but some people were just doing it like to like jab at him, like, and I get it. I
Mhm.
understand. You don't want to give props where props due, and like you said, Lily, when people have certain takes and spaces in the next game, their takes is thrown into the gutter. They don't want to give leeway. They don't want to give some slack, right?
there's one particular guy that got me really mad, and that's why I jumped on. And because he every time he finds ways to say things about Scotty Barnes, and it's just like he makes me seem like I'm this like Scotty Barnes
Defender.
defender, and I'm like, that's not who I am because I
That
think
was
he.
me, Fred. I had to become the. I wasn't even a
Ugh,
big fan of Fred, but I had to become the defender because everybody was going at him
I
time and
like
time
Scotty.
again.
I like Scotty. He's a good. I think he's a really good player. I think he has a great potential, but when you start to throw these like these crazy expectations on it as like a Scotty stan, then you have the. It's like I always talk about this as the like the politics, right? There's the people that are on the far right, and of course, there's people on the far left, and those are the ones that are the loudest, right? And you're like, no, 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 hold on. I'm here in the middle, or a little bit to the left, or a little bit to the right. And I like Scotty, but I don't think he's God, but I also don't think he is Satan.
Yeah.
So how do you guys balance that right now? Because I would love to hear what you guys are thoughts on.
Let me jump on real quick
Yeah.
to this guy. Like, for me, I just don't like the scrutiny that people gave him right off the jump. Right, a lot of people who supported Fred Van Fleet, right? The way Fred spoke about Scotty Barnes wasn't to the liking of how Scotty Barnes wanted to be spoken about.
Mhm.
Talking about, oh, he has a golden child, or everything on a silver platter for him. Like, talking about it has to be earned. Bro, he was a fourth overall pick. You guys are a 41 team. What do you think the fourth overall pick is gonna do? Not start?
Mhm.
Come
Mhm.
off the bench for who? Gary Trent Jr.? Who? He's 6'9". Can
Six
handle the
man with a
ball.
handle the ball.
Can create. Like, what were you supposed to do with that? Put him in the G League? Go earn it? Like,
It's a very interesting conversation because
the
um, Fred came from a different perspective. He was
right,
not drafted. He had to work his way up. So
right.
for him to say that he should have known, because I don't remember, I do saw some of the comments, and he still slights him a bit in
It
some
does.
of his comments.
It
Like I
does.
don't know why, but
Which is fine. Like,
yeah.
look, that's understandable. Like, nothing I can do about Fred.
Hmm.
But when people are in spaces with me, like I said, I support the young guys, and I hear people saying, "Oh, Scotty's not ready. He has to earn it." And I'm like, I've never seen like a fourth overall pick that's a rookie of the year and still has to earn things in this team. Like, are we a championship team?
Yeah.
I thought I didn't know we are a championship team. I thought last time I checked, we was trying to figure out how to win games.
Where does that discourse come from? Do you
I
think?
I, I think it has. I'm not sure if you guys can still hear me, but if you can, um, I think that discourse.
Sorry, Zazu, say that one more time because I
Yeah.
just deleted.
So I think that discourse comes from just people who so called don't want to be stands, but don't realize that they're stands. You know what I'm saying? Like the idea that like people are afraid to say I'm a stand,
Mm-hmm.
and you can hear it on the way they speak because every time they speak, they'll slight someone to support someone else or
Mm-hmm.
a cause, and they think I'm like my ears fully is just has a bunch of earwax and I can't hear them. I can hear every single undertone, and I'll see a bit and I'll call it out. And once I call it out, because it's always against Scotty Barnes, I'm a Scotty Barnes defender.
Yeah.
I'm a stand now. I don't put like Lily. Have I ever said Scotty Barnes gonna be like some mega like star that's gonna like take us to the championship? I've ever said he's gonna be the best in the world. Look at this guy. Everything. I've
Yeah,
never once
no,
said
but
anything like that about Scotty Barnes. All I do is defend 24/7. Literally. Against people who are saying that he hasn't earned or deserved anything.
Mm-hmm. Lily, what's your thoughts on this?
I just think that it is a little bit ridiculous because people want. I the problem is that Scotty doesn't fit the prototype,
Mm-hmm.
the star prototype.
Yeah.
He's a different, and I keep saying that, but in a good way. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's different, like good different. Like he is not. He's not going to, you know what I mean, like cross hezzy, all fancy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's not quite the Giannis, you know what I mean, like barrel into you and like dominate either. He has the potential, I think, to do a little of both. Um, what he is he's a very good all around player who's just getting better,
Mm-hmm.
who is still young, and I think that the potential is there. And
Do
so
you have a player comp? Sorry, continue. I
when
apologize.
you don't have when you don't have the box to fit him into, the comparison to fit
Yeah.
him into, it's hard for people to latch on to one narrative about who he is and who he can be.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's just like one on one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's okay because um I love that about him. Like I
Yeah.
love that about him because it's all you never know what you're going to get from
Yeah.
him day to day. You just know that you're going to get passion, you're going to get effort, you're going to get you know what I mean? Like you're going to get a real like a kid who really wants to win. And people sometimes say that he's not showing that, but I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I think that he wants to go and win every game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard for people to kind of put him in a certain box, which leads to these opinions.
Do
For
you have a
me,
player comparison for him at all? Do you have any players that you
I
would?
don't want to say my player comp because people will be mad.
Well, this is the opportunity because you don't have to answer to any of them.
The player comp that I have for him is literally Kawhi Leonard.
Okay,
Literally. I
interesting.
think that Kawhi started off very raw, you know
Hmm.
what I mean? And maybe it's because he's got that those big long hands, those big hands, long arms, that physically sort of dominating physique.
Yeah.
I think and then he started off really really raw,
Hmm.
and he worked on his craft and got better.
Yeah.
I don't even think that I don't know if offensively. Um, I don't know, but that's who I want. Maybe that's just me who I want to see him.
Yeah.
What I want to see him become. I don't know if he'll get there, but I do know that he has the tools
Yeah.
to get there.
Yeah.
I do think so. I think that defensively, um, I think it's all mindset. I think it's mindset for him. That's it.
Mhm.
Once he has his mind, and once he gets his mind into understanding how to win, I think it's like really over for this league.
Yeah.
Like period. Like, and I'm not, and maybe yeah, I'm biased because I'm a fan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do see it. I'm honest.
Mhm.
This is my honest like take on it. I think that he has that potential to really be a star, like a top 5 player in this league. I think that I don't think that it's like I think he's going to have to work on it. You know what I mean? I think that he has shown flashes of it in moments where it's just brilliance in moments. Um but I think that he still has to work hard to get there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Let me say this
Mhm.
with when it comes to Scotty Barnes, okay? Like
Mhm.
he's light years ahead where we or the media or scouts peg him to be a zero level score.
Yeah.
Literally a zero level score is what he expected to be. Someone who can shoot, supposed to be a defensive player, get it off the rim, and that's the only way he was supposed to score. But are y'all forgetting that his second game against the Celtics, he gave them the work
Hey. Hey.
as a rookie.
Yeah.
He gave LeBron the work, 31, 17, and 6
Mm.
as a rookie.
Yeah.
his first
Yeah.
game in the playoffs. I always say this. This is when I knew that he was star potential. Well, I knew it from the like the first week. I was like, this kid is more than they were. This kid is way more than than advertised.
Yeah.
Um, but also in his first playoff game, he's only been to the playoffs once in his rookie season. I guess it would have been right.
Mhm.
Um, he um, got injured, right?
In
But
that
before he got injured, he was like nearing a triple double, and it
in the
was
first
literally in the first quarter. That like I was like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm like, who does that? You know,
I
it's
still think if he
unheard
didn't
of.
get injured, we would have won that series
even
because
if
they
he
had
came
no
back,
answer.
he came back hobbling, and
Yeah.
we almost won that game
Yeah. They had
in the
no
third
answer
quarter.
for him. Yeah.
No.
If
So
if
Yeah.
if he didn't if Joel Embiid didn't hit that 3-pointer, that game would have been ours.
Oh, don't remind
100%.
me of that. I was
Yeah.
at that. God,
Oh,
that was literally PTSD thinking about that. But yeah, no, I don't know what would have happened. I think they were a very experienced, like they were an experienced team, and we were a very different team from the year prior or wherever before we, you know. And so I don't know if we would have won the series, but I know it would have been Scotty would have like
grew up in front of
his
us. Yeah.
singular performance would have shone through if
Yeah.
he had not been if Embiid didn't stomp on his ankle
Oh
and elbow
my
him in
gosh.
his head.
Yeah, I totally agree. Look, like not to toot Scotty's horn, but when a kid when you're looking at tapes, because I'm not the kind of person that go and watch NCAA. I'm too busy watching the Raptors.
Mhm.
I got kids. I have coaching to do. I don't have time to sit around watching NCAA.
Mhm.
I don't. That's the bottom line. So the only time I'm actually going to do my homework is when the draft is about to start. I'm going to have to look at draft boards, watch some highlights. That's all I'm getting.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when I saw Scotty Barnes, I'm like, damn, this kid can pass. This kid's got some IQ.
Mhm.
Kind of low key reminds me of Kyle Lowry, but with taller, aggressive, and so. Like, I liked everything I saw. But then when he played, I'm like, God damn,
Different.
we
Yeah.
might have something here, right? And for
Yeah,
me, it's like we have something that's kind of special. Why are you, as a Raptors fan, trying to ruin that for me?
Mhm.
Like, what are we
exactly.
doing here? Why are you trying to ruin what we have? I like, I get it. Pascal is beloved by everybody. I understand that.
Mhm.
I understand Freddy's beloved by everybody. I get that. But bro, how long do you want those guys to run our team for?
Mhm.
Fred VanVleet should be nowhere close to being a leader on any given team. That's just me.
What is your player comparison for Scotty? Who is that?
Scotty Barnes, I think Scotty Barnes, Scotty Barnes. I have no player come from.
Me, my player comp for him is actually a bigger, larger Jason Kidd.
There you go.
I think he has proven the facilitation, he's proven the defensive awareness and offensive awareness to be like Jason Kidd, except bigger and stronger. And I in
I'll
my
take.
belief is that if he ever gets a mid range game,
He does have one. He just
no, I
doesn't use
mean
it like deadly. Yeah,
like
I get that.
like not to 30, not 40%, but like it's a bucket. Like it's a bucket every
Like
time.
50. Yeah, yeah,
And I mean not at the block, but I mean in those spaces that
yeah.
people do
Yeah,
not want
yeah,
people shooting.
yeah.
He will be like how Lily was saying. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is like a master at the mid range. He's really good at it. And if he ever gets that, oh my god, the
I
league
mean,
is
you
going
see
to be
flashes, right?
shocked, huh?
You see the flashes
Yeah,
when he gets there.
yeah.
Like look at the last game when he scored 31,
hmm I know
right?
Lily was talking about his shooting and in the space and like, oh, he needs to shoot more. I wonder. I think he's still not confident in his 3 point shot yet, and I think that's why he takes so long to get into that form when he shoots. And it's interesting because when you look at Grady, when he first in his first year, he did that hesitation kind of shot, but now it's like fluent. And I think Scotty's going to get there. I feel, and the more, the better. The only way you're going to be able to shoot, especially in this league, is with experience. And Lily said it the best. Like, what other game is he going to experience? Shoot as many freaking threes as possible in this game that
And
we're blowing a team out. Are you serious?
I think he needs to shoot as much as possible in every
Yeah,
game.
him and
This
Grady.
season is not about winning.
Yeah,
This season is about development. They've already said
reps,
that very clear.
reps, reps, reps.
So he's got to shoot
mhm,
until that becomes automatic, until
yep,
that becomes um, like second nature, until it muscle memory in
mhm,
a game speed environment.
yeah,
That's you could do it all you want in practice or in the what I mean,
yeah,
standing still in the gym. That has to come through reps.
yeah,
And um right now, win or lose, like he's got to shoot. He's got to shoot. He's got to score. If he's going to be the number one option on our team, he has to be able to shoot
mhm.
on all levels. He has to be able to score on all
Free
levels.
throws.
And
Yep,
you
yep,
can't get mad. I don't care if he's
I
2 out
bet
of
y'all,
10 in threes. Like,
I
shoot
bet
it.
y'all
Like,
tonight those 3 point shots will go down.
yeah,
huh.
yeah.
Like he was front rim a lot.
Yes, that's why I'm saying it's the he just needs to. Oh,
No,
I don't
so
know.
which means that like his legs are tired,
Yeah, yeah, oh
right?
man,
Because you need your legs. So when you're front rim, you have dead legs. I'm not
yeah.
sure we were on a back to back, were we?
No,
We're on the road,
No,
right?
last
yeah,
time we were on the road. Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, his legs are gassed. So
Yep.
which is great that they like. I'm glad they were front rim and they weren't like sideboard, backboard,
backward.
boom.
Yeah,
Like they weren't off. It was on target. Just front rim, front rim.
mhm,
Just short, 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 short. Which is good. That's a great
yeah.
sign.
But I could tell when I could look at him when he's about to shoot, and I could tell. I was like, okay, he's not in a very good, like it
He's not
progresses throughout the
relaxed.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like you could see him pushing, like his form changes.
mm,
And then it's not consistent.
Yeah, but you
So
notice when he scores his threes, they don't rattle in. It's
no,
swish.
it's
it's
swish. Like
swish.
Lether Shooter,
Yeah,
man. That guy.
it's
Scotty
true.
Barnes,
Like,
when he shoots a three and it goes any even his mid range,
Yeah,
they don't just rattle in. It's
no,
only the hook shots that
yeah,
rattle in.
yeah,
His his threes, his mid ranges. Watch Scotty Barnes every time he shoots a shot and it goes in. It's a swish. Even his free throws,
mhm,
they don't rattle,
yeah.
which means he has the touch. He just needs the repetition.
Yeah.
yes, it's true.
The
Yeah.
rep. All right, so It's been an hour and 20 minutes. I thought this was gonna be like a 40-minute conversation, but you guys are amazing to talk to. I have two more questions. I want to hear your thoughts on our rookies because I want to hear who's exciting you the most. And I want to say that I know we've only won 5 games, but we're playing 4 rookies. Like people don't. I mean the rookies, not like, and these are rookies that were picked in the second round, 19 below. Like, anyways, what are your thoughts on the rookies? Let's start with Lily. Tell me what you thoughts on the rookies and who's the one that you keep your eye on, but you don't say much, or who you like there.
So, I really do like all the rookies this year. We've had some, let's just say, not so promising. Like they look promising out the gate, which is good,
Hmm.
right? We've had rookies in the past several years where it's like, oh, just give it time. You know what I mean? But this time, I'm like, no, these are player. These all look like NBA players.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's the first thing. For me, I really like Jamison Battle.
Okay. Okay.
It's giving Clay Thompson. It's giving like confidence. It's giving I already know how to shoot and don't nobody need to teach me.
Yeah.
So I think that like I'm very impressed by this kid. I think that just the fact that was he in like a
We
two-way,
drafted.
like he's undrafted, right?
Yeah.
So it's like kudos to Masai, whoever picked this kid up. He worked his way in because I think there was other players who might have been initially ahead of him, and they
Mhm.
were forced to give him a contract because of how well he played in the preseason and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I just think that he is off the bat going to be a good player. If he this is how he looks, and this is only his first few weeks or a couple months
Mhm.
in the NBA, I it's only up from here. I think that he is. I'm very very excited about him. I think his shooting is such a premium, and
Mhm.
he is literally 5 of 6 last game. Just like he's automatic.
Uh,
He's a movement shooter.
Butter.
He's a standstill shooter. And he also people were clowning him because of his defense. I'm like, his defense is looking pretty solid lately.
Yeah, he's staying in front of
He's
players. Yeah, there are some times where someone actually put on it was a Scotty hit job by a specific person, and we're like, hold on, that wasn't Scotty's fault. That was Battle's fault. What are you, what are you saying? But no, I agree. He doesn't look out
he's
of
not
place.
perfect, but
Yeah.
when I'm like in terms of assignments and who's who, that's going to come with time. But
Hmm.
what I look for is, are you able to stay with your man? Are you able to close out? And he can do both of those.
Hmm.
So for me, anything else is just effort and understanding the scheme. For him, I think that I'm very excited about him, and I just want to say, Jacoby, also like, I can't wait to see him get more reps, and I'm so glad that Darko put him in to
Starting
start.
lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I'm like,
Why not?
why not? What are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, put it like Grady better watch out because they're coming for his spot. These
I
two are
know
coming for
Grady.
his spot.
Grady got that swag. I can't wait till Grady does. You remember Gordon Hayward when he first came in the league? And his hair was all that like the little kid hair, and then the next year it was that part over what like side part. He looked. That's what I want. I'm waiting for Grady to hit that point where in his career, right? So Zazu, what are your thoughts on our rookies? Who do you kind of
Oh, I
secretly
was I was
cheering for?
no for sure. I was first high on like Brandon Carlson. I still think what I'm saying. Hey, of a seven
Oh,
footer who can shoot threes, especially pick and pop, and can
bro.
block shots.
Bro,
Give me
don't
that
get me
all
started.
day,
I've screamed about this guy for so long. Anyway, sorry. Continue. You're my guest. Continue.
all day. So I'm hurt about that,
Mhm.
but it had to come at the expense of someone. Like we had with
Bruno.
So I know Bruno's there, but like, look, I don't, I can't say anything for the Raptors and how they came up to this conclusion. But bottom line is, I love Jamison Battle. You know, I was very high on him. Once we I saw him, I'm like, who's this kid that can shoot? Remember Lily every preseason game? I'm like, this
Mhm.
game does not miss.
Yeah, we were both.
Every game he hits a three. There was not a game that went off that he didn't hit a three. He would come on, you hit a three. Come on, hit a three. I'm like, damn. Are you
Mhm.
gonna be like this in the Raptors jersey? Because most shooters who come in the Raptors do not shoot.
They can't shoot.
They can't shoot. And if you're doing this right now, you're here to stay, my guy. And I also like Jemias Ramsey. He used to play for us before. Like, you know, I thought, you know, that might be a battle because he played a really solid preseason too,
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
right? So, bottom line, I'm glad that they went with battle. I'm sad that we got rid of Brandon Carlson. I am sad about that. Um, when we drafted,
But do
right?
you
When I
think
looked
they picked
at,
the right people, though, Zazu?
sorry,
Do you think they picked the right players? Like I do. Do you think they picked Bruno Fernando over Brandon Carlson? Is pretty much what they did, right?
yeah, I think so.
Well, no,
I,
someone told me it wasn't that. It was Jameson battle over Carlson.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
what they
yeah, that's
said.
the thing, right? So, because
well, that's a given. Come on, let's be real.
yeah,
What are we doing? You know what I mean?
What
but
did
I
you
know we
again,
need
it's
another center,
necessity.
but
It was necessity, right? We needed another
yeah,
proven center over a raw center, so they went with Bruno over Carlson.
because
Right?
we already have a raw center. It's
Yeah,
Ulrich.
yeah,
I think it would have been better if we didn't give DJ Carton a two way, because you give DJ Carton a two way and then you don't give Carlson. This is a need. In sorry, I keep talking
Oh,
about it.
you think
This is
that's
a
what you
bro,
think?
he can
You
shoot
think we have
threes.
enough point
He's
guard
7
depth?
footer.
lots of guards.
You know who have him lately? OKC just signed him to
Okay,
a
so
contract.
sign him
That
to
who?
the rest of the year.
Who? Brandon Carlson?
Yeah.
Yes, OKC took him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh
So,
god.
anyways,
Yeah.
not to be a Debbie Downer, but when we drafted Jacoby Walter, Jamal Shed, and Mogbo, I went to go watch their highlights, and the way they move on the floor
Mhm.
aggressively, like defensively, like you should see them defensively. Like go watch their highlight tapes. They just move differently than every other rookies we've had before. And I tweeted out, the Raptors really went after dogs,
Mhm.
dudes who go at it. They die for the 50-50. They go for the loose balls. They're going to win you a game just off of activity
Mhm.
alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I was very high on this class. They hit you hard. Like you guys seen Jamal Shad.
Yeah.
The way
Yeah,
he goes through
me
screens.
Jacoby Walters wasn't who I wanted, but all the players that I wanted were drafted before him.
What
So
can you do?
we can't do anything.
I think that Jacoby in that last game.
But
Uh,
Jacoby Walter, look at him. Look at him. He had 11, a double double.
Yeah.
yeah.
14 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, almost a triple double in his first start. Look, and those 11 rebounds are off of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very, very impressive.
Doesn't he have
Effort.
like a
And he's
Very,
6'9" wingspan kind of thing?
7.
He's so any 6 foot. Yeah. And to me, I thought it was redundant to get a player like him, but when you see him, like you can't have enough of those players. So
No.
that's why I'm like, I'm on the fence.
yeah.
But we
So
couldn't do
now,
anything. The player
now,
I wanted is gone. So
look, bottom line is I'm very high on everybody.
mhm.
But the person I'm actually super high on, and I know once his game really starts showing up for everybody,
I
everyone
know who you're gonna say. I know who
everyone's gonna be a fan. Who do you think will say, Lily?
you're saying.
Ulrich.
Mogbo.
Who?
Mogbo. Mogbo?
Mogbo. Yes.
Yeah. I knew it.
I'm telling you guys, the kid
Yeah.
can play me.
He hit a 3 pointer, bro. He hit a 3 pointer.
No
I'm
word of
Well,
three-pointer.
that's
shocked.
all we asked
His
for.
shot is his shot is gonna come. Like the kid I was reading an article about this kid. He was in his senior year. In his senior year in high school, he was 5'11". In his third year of college, he ended up being 6'8".
Okay. Okay.
The dude was a point guard all the way through a high school. When you see him bring the ball up, he knows what he's
You
doing.
know, when I first saw him, I was scared. Like, but then you could see he sees the angles. You can
Yes,
see him bringing up,
watch
and
his
he's
handles, bro.
oh,
Watch him do a dribble move. If he does it behind the back, you'll be like, that was too smooth.
and it's like steady. It's not like like
Oh yeah, his handles were
okay.
so smooth. I'm telling you guys are gonna love him. Like I already love him just because like I've read a lot of articles about him, and I'm like, yo, this kid, and he's Scotty Barnes' best friend,
I think that yeah, he plays really well with Scotty. Like they have a chemistry
bro.
there.
Wait till the
Yeah.
chemistry really chemistry.
Yeah,
Wait till they start
the,
gelling like a jelly bean,
the
bro.
the
We gonna be
lineup
dancing,
the lineup
bro.
was him,
They
Scotty, Grady, Shed, and I don't remember who the fourth one was. That lineup was crazy.
bro.
It's gonna
That
be
lineup
the
was
death.
crazy.
Listen.
It's gonna be
Now
the death lineup. Give it a
when I'm
year,
when I'm
maybe a
telling y'all right
year.
now,
I would
Scotty
say
Barnes, when
it's gonna
Scott,
be the death lineup where you just have players who can shoot, are physically dominating, defensive minded, just like you know every all around players. The Raptors are gonna be a problem, and I would
suffocating,
say like give it about. I think they need one after this year. They're gonna need one more year of like really figuring out like the roster. But once like the core exists already. We
Hmm.
just need to figure out exactly what the combination is and who works well with who, and just like who's gonna really like take that leap. But it exists on this team
let
already.
let let,
I
let,
feel confident in that.
let me say this, okay? We now have a player potentially when Scotty Barnes goes off, he can almost mimic what Scotty can give you
No drop off. No drop off.
defensively. You see him clamp up Maxi?
Do you see? No, Maxi. No. Anthony Edwards.
My
Three
bad.
air balls. Three air balls, bro.
My bad.
Are you serious? I'm sitting there. I'm
The
talking
leg
to my
speed.
boy.
The leg speed. He used to be 5'9", my guy.
I'm telling my boy. I'm like, yo, this guy shut. Because at first, when he first was drafted, I'm like, who? What is he? He's 6'6", 6'7". We don't know. We don't know what position he plays. Like, what is he? I kept asking my friends, what's the player comp? Who do I? Nah, boss. He's his own.
He's his
He's his
own, bro.
own. Someone said Draymond Green. I'm like, no. Draymond doesn't see the floor like that. Like,
No. And
no.
he can't guard. Draymond doesn't guard guards like that. Let's be real,
Hey,
bro.
hey,
Come on. Listen, bottom line is I'm excited for Mogbo. I
yeah.
think he's going to be tremendous. He's going to be a fan favorite because, again, if you guys want someone to earn something, he's
Hmm.
doing it for you guys.
Yeah,
Those so-called earn your keep.
yeah.
He's starting from the bench. How about that? He's starting from the bench. He's going to work his way up. Um, and let's not miss Ulrich Stromshed, the youngest NBA player. He's doing some work in the G League. I'm
Yeah.
excited for him. My Cameroonian brother, like he's a farmer. He's humble as anyone else. I love that the Raptors like getting high value character guys, and he's one of my favorite already. So draft class has been great, man. I can't complain. A plus plus plus.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So really can't complain.
And your years of Matt Thomas, like the like look what we've
Steve
been through.
Mikhailo.
Oh my gosh, look what we've been through.
Mm.
The people that we have now easily like we just like oh just a little bit more we just a little bit more run, and it's like no, I'm like
Lily,
maybe
what if we had this bench last year before the Pascal trade?
if we had
I know, but like, I'm just saying.
I
I think Pascal shouldn't have been traded. I think Pascal should have stayed. I think Pascal.
We've been on.
Oh,
We've been
geez,
talking for like an hour and a half.
bro.
We go
we
into
gotta
this
save some of this for the next pod,
the next pod.
Zazu.
I know. I just think, like, remember when Pascal, Scotty, IQ, RJ played that one game? It
Yeah,
was so
yeah.
beautiful to watch.
Yeah,
So
Well, the
yeah.
only problem in that game was, and again, this is just me, was coaching. Because you put Pascal sitting in the corner, not doing nothing. What are you doing, bro? Set a pick and roll with him, and imagine pick and roll with Scotty and Pascal. Just like, who can stop that? Anyways, all right, guys. last question for you guys. Um, you guys been doing this community thing for a while. What kind of advice would you give to someone that wants to start a community, not per se in the Raptor space, but maybe in their own space, like you talked about football or soccer, and other spaces. What would you give them as advice to kind of help run their community? And I'll start with you, Zazu.
Yeah, honestly, just be authentically you. Be respectful to others. Like, give everyone opportunity to speak. I think just if you love it and you're passionate about it, do it. Be consistent about it, right? Um, and you know what? You will be because if you're anything like me, someone who has so much to say because of the game, you'd want to turn on the space. You want to turn on your community and have that conversation with your community because I think he's offline again.
You
You
said you wanna turn on your community. Continue from there, please.
Yeah, you want to go to your community, have that conversation with them, and essentially vent. I use my space to vent.
Yes.
I turn it on and I go on my rant, and then everyone's free for all.
The Zazu rant. I love them.
You know what I'm saying? So I go on my rant, and then everyone else can I need to start letting Lily go second because I feel like she doesn't get a chance to vent, and she's battling everyone else.
Lily needs her vent time too. Like her the Lily monologue. It's
Yeah,
coming.
gotta give her her time to shine. I think I need to start making Blackhawk my second co-host because Pascal Siakam just chills there the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
no, no, I appreciate her too.
Lily, what advice would you give to someone that wants to start a community?
So I would just echo the same sentiments as Zazu. Just do it if it's your passion. I do it because like I just I love the Raptors, and I love and I want somewhere I liked listening to other people talk about it. So we it's just natural, it's organic, it's just you know what I mean? We're just just do it if you love to do it. Don't be afraid to your voice is important, and there's enough room for everyone.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, it's like people always think that they don't belong, or there's enough opinions, and that may be true in certain circumstances. Like, but in most cases, you know, your perspective and your individual perspective is just yours, right? And there's always room for that. And if people will gravitate to it if it's organic and it's authentically you. So I would just encourage people to do it. That's just do it. Open up a space, start a YouTube channel, whatever, TikTok, whatever, just do it
Podcast.
if it brings you joy.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do this podcast for years. I've been actually started something similar and then stopped and whatever. But guys, I really appreciate you guys sitting down, talking with me, taking some of your time. I know it's a kind of late, and you guys are doing this on your own time, but I appreciate
That's because we love the Raptors, man. Anytime we have a chance
yeah,
to talk about the Raptors, we will.
you guys you guys made my day. So
No,
guys, thank you so much, everyone. Please follow Zazu on Twitter. Zazu, can you share your socials again?
it's literally Zatu Oki at Zatu Oki.
That's good.
That is
And then
Zuoke. So just my name,
sweet.
my last
And
name.
then follow Lily on X. Join us for the cookout sometimes. Lily, what's
Okay,
your handle on Twitter?
At LELELUVSMJB.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and have a great rest of the day, and enjoy that Raptor game.
oh yeah. See you guys post game, man.
See you post game.
Woo!
Sir.